Most EDC knife lists are full of overpriced hype, gimmicks, and knives that look cool online, but honestly never end up in anybody's pocket. But today, we're counting down 10 EDC knives that people actually love carrying every single day. Some of these are affordable workhorses, some are premium legends, and a couple of them honestly surprised me with how good they are for the money. And trust me, once we get to number 1, you'll understand why it's still one of the most respected everyday carry knives ever made. If you're into EDC gear, tactical tools, survival equipment, pocket dumps, and everyday carry upgrades, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got a lot more gear content coming your way. Alright, let's jump right into it. Starting off at number 10, we've got the Kizzer Drop Bear 2. Now Kizzer has been absolutely blowing up in the knife world lately because they've figured out how to make knives that feel premium without charging absolutely insane prices. And the Drop Bear 2 is honestly one of the best examples of that. The first thing you notice is how smooth this knife feels. The deployment is fast, clean, and ridiculously satisfying. It uses a crossbar-style lock, so if you like fidget-friendly knives that you can open and close all day long, this thing is dangerous because you won't want to put it down. And it's not just fun to use, it's actually practical too. The ergonomics are excellent. The grip feels secure, and it carries super well in the pocket because it's lightweight without feeling cheap. That's actually one of the hardest balances for knife companies to get right. Some lightweight knives feel flimsy, but the Drop Bear still feels solid and dependable. This is the kind of knife that works for almost anybody. Whether you're new to EDC or already deep into collecting knives, the Drop Bear 2 just makes sense. It's modern, smooth, reliable, and honestly feels way more expensive than it actually is. Coming in at number 9, we've got the AWB Damascus Folding Pocket Knife. Now this knife immediately stands out because of the Damascus blade. The second light hits that blade pattern, it grabs your attention. It has that high-end custom knife look that usually costs a whole lot more money. And honestly, this is one of those knives that people will ask you about the second they see it. It has that classy gentleman-style EDC vibe without feeling overly fancy or delicate. The cool thing is, it's not just about looks either. The handle feels surprisingly solid, the action is smooth, and the blade shape works really well for everyday cutting tasks. Opening boxes, cutting rope, general utility stuff. It handles all of that just fine, while still looking like something you'd want to show off. A lot of budget Damascus knives end up feeling cheap once you actually hold them, but this one feels much more premium than people expect. And honestly, if you're tired of plain black tactical knives and want something with more personality, this knife definitely delivers that. At number 8, we've got the high-end folding pocket knife, and this thing just feels serious the moment you pick it up. Some knives feel designed mostly for style, but this one gives off that heavy-duty workhorse energy immediately. The blade shape looks aggressive, the handle feels rugged, and overall, it just feels like a knife that's built to handle hard use. The grip feels secure in the hand, which is important because if you actually use your knives regularly, comfort matters way more than people realize. A knife can look amazing online, but if it feels awkward in the hand, you're probably not going to carry it long term. This knife also has that tactical look a lot of people love. It feels durable, dependable, and ready for just about anything. Whether you're carrying it for outdoor use, work tasks, or everyday utility, it definitely gives you confidence when using it. And honestly, some people just like knives that feel substantial in the hand. Not everybody wants ultra-lightweight minimalism. Some people want a knife that feels tough and capable, and this one absolutely fits that category. Now, number 7 might honestly be the most underrated knife on this entire list, the CJRB Maileah. This knife proves that bigger isn't always better. The Maileah is compact, lightweight, and ridiculously easy to carry. It disappears into your pocket so easily that half the time you forget it's even there until you need it. And honestly, that's what makes a great EDC knife. If something is too bulky or uncomfortable, eventually people stop carrying it. But the Maileah is so lightweight and compact that it's incredibly easy to bring everywhere. Even though it's small, the action is fantastic. It opens fast, feels smooth, and honestly, has a really addictive fidget factor. Knife people know exactly what I'm talking about. Some knives are just satisfying to use over and over again. This is also an awesome option for people who prefer fifth pocket carry or want a smaller backup blade. And even though it's compact, it still feels capable enough for normal daily tasks. What I also like about this knife is that it has personality. A lot of smaller knives feel generic, but the Maileah actually feels unique. It's fun, practical, lightweight, and honestly, one of those knives that grows on you the more you carry it. At number 6, we've got one of the cleanest looking EDC knives ever made, the CRKT CEO. Now this knife became insanely popular because it solved a problem a lot of people have. Some people want to carry a knife every day, but they don't necessarily want a giant tactical blade clipped to their pocket while they're sitting in an office or professional environment. And that's exactly where the CEO shines. This thing is incredibly slim. In your pocket, it almost looks like a pen, which makes it super discreet and easy to carry. It's lightweight, classy, and low profile while still giving you a very functional blade when you need it. And honestly, the design just looks clean. It has that gentleman's EDC style without feeling overly flashy or expensive. CRKT really nailed the balance between professional and practical with this knife. This is also one of those knives that works great for minimalists. If you don't like bulky pockets or oversized knives, the CEO feels incredibly comfortable for all-day carry. And let's be honest, there's something cool about carrying a knife that doesn't immediately scream tactical. It blends in, stays practical, and still feels premium. Halfway through the list at number 5, we've got the Gerber Gear Pledge. Now Gerber has been around forever, and they've built a reputation for making reliable gear for everyday people. And the Pledge is a really solid example of a budget-friendly knife that just works. It's simple, lightweight, easy to use, and honestly, a great option for somebody getting into EDC for the first time. Not everybody wants to spend hundreds of dollars on a pocket knife, especially if they're just looking for something dependable for daily tasks. The blade shape is practical, the knife feels lightweight in the pocket, and overall it's just easy to carry and use. Sometimes simplicity is actually a good thing, and honestly, this is the type of knife you can beat up without constantly worrying about it. A lot of expensive knives almost feel too nice to use hard, but with something like the Pledge, you can actually throw it in your pocket every day and just use it. For the price, it honestly offers a lot of value. Now at number 4, we've got an absolute legend, the Victorinox Huntsman Swiss Army knife. At this point, the Swiss Army knife is basically iconic. Everybody recognizes it. And even with all these modern tactical knives out there, the Huntsman still remains one of the most useful everyday carry tools ever made. What makes this thing special isn't just the blade, it's the versatility. You've got scissors, screwdrivers, bottle openers, a saw, and multiple tools packed into one compact setup. It's basically an entire mini toolbox in your pocket. This is the kind of thing that becomes insanely useful once you start carrying it regularly. You end up using the scissors constantly. The screwdrivers come in handy all the time. And honestly, it's just one of the most practical EDC options ever created. And there's also something timeless about it. The design has barely changed over the years because honestly, it didn't need to. It already worked. Whether you're camping, hiking, traveling, or just dealing with random daily tasks, the Huntsman is one of those tools that always seems useful. This knife has a much more traditional outdoorsman feel to it, compared to some of the more modern tactical designs on this list. And honestly, that's part of what makes it appealing. The handle feels comfortable and secure. The blade shape is practical, and overall it just gives off that rugged, dependable vibe. This feels like the kind of knife you take camping, fishing, hiking, or keep in your pocket. At number 3, we've got the Gerber Gear Scout Pocket Knife. This knife has a much more traditional outdoorsman feel to it, compared to some of the more modern tactical designs on this list. And honestly, that's part of what makes it appealing. The handle feels comfortable and secure. The blade shape is practical. And overall, it just gives off that rugged, dependable vibe. This feels like the kind of knife you take camping, fishing, hiking, or keep in your pocket during outdoor work. Some knives today try so hard to look futuristic or aggressive that they almost forget to just be practical tools. But the Scout keeps things simple in a good way. It's reliable, straightforward, and feels built for actual use. And honestly, there's a certain old-school charm to knives like this. It feels like something somebody could carry for years without ever getting tired of it. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Smith & Wesson Gray and Black Serrated Pocket Knife. If you like tactical style knives, this thing definitely stands out. The assisted opening is fast and satisfying, the serrated edge gives you extra versatility, and the overall design just looks aggressive in the best way possible. And one of the biggest reasons people like this knife is because it gives you that tactical feel without demanding premium knife prices. You get a knife that looks rugged, deploys quickly, and feels capable without spending a fortune. The serrated section also makes this useful for tougher cutting tasks like rope, straps, or emergency situations where serrations can actually help a lot. And honestly, this just feels like one of those knives people trust. It feels durable, dependable, and ready for daily use. But finally, taking the number 1 spot on this list, the Benchmade Bugout. This knife has become an absolute legend in the EDC community, and once you actually hold one, it's easy to understand why. The first thing people notice is the weight, or honestly, the lack of weight. The Bugout is incredibly lightweight, almost unbelievably lightweight, but it still feels strong and capable. That combination is exactly why so many people love it. The axis lock is smooth, fast, and incredibly satisfying to use. The ergonomics feel excellent in the hand. The blade steel performs extremely well, and overall it just feels like one of the most refined everyday carry knives out there. This is one of those rare knives that works for almost every type of user. Outdoor people love it. Hikers love it. Urban EDC fans love it. Collectors love it. It's just an incredibly versatile knife. And honestly, the Bugout is one of those knives that turns casual knife owners into actual EDC enthusiasts. Once somebody buys one, they usually understand the hype immediately. It's lightweight enough to disappear in your pocket, but capable enough to handle real work. And that's exactly why it's earned such a massive reputation over the years. So that was the top 10 EDC knives worth carrying this year. From budget-friendly workhorses to premium everyday carry legends, there's honestly something here for every type of setup and every type of budget. Now I want to hear from you guys. Which knife on this list would you actually carry every day? And what knife do you think should have made the list? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more EDC and tactical gear content, and check the links in the description if you want more details on any of these knives. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.